Welcome to Weedsday Wednesday, Tucson, Arizona's #1 online radio podcast about all things medical cannabis. Your host, Belle,
and the Cannabis Kid. Our show features news, interviews, and all the latest information about anything and everything medical cannabis related in Tucson, Arizona, and the world at large.
We'd love to hear from you. Please give us a call live at 646-915-8421. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on all social media, or email thctucson@gmail.com.
We'd like to thank Tumbleweeds Health Center and Studio C, along with our many sponsors, for hosting our show every week. With the lowest price certifications in town, you'll find hemp products, accessories, and all things related to medical cannabis education.
Visit Tumbleweeds Health Center at 4826 East Broadway Boulevard or online at tumbleweedshealthcenter.com. And remember,
Be smart,
be safe,
and educate.
Welcome to Weedsday Wednesday, Tucson, Arizona's #1 online radio podcast about all things medical cannabis. Your host, Belle,
and the Cannabis Kid. Our show features news, interviews, and all the latest information about anything and everything medical cannabis related in Tucson, Arizona, and the world at large.
We'd love to hear from you. Please give us a call live at 646-915-8421. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on all social media, or email thctucson@gmail.com.
We'd like to thank Tumbleweeds Health Center and Studio C, along with our many sponsors, for hosting our show every week. With the lowest price certifications in town, you'll find hemp products. Accessories, and all things related to medical cannabis education.
Visit Tumbleweeds Health Center at 4826 East Broadway Boulevard or online at tumbleweedshealthcenter.com. And remember,
Be smart,
be safe,
and educate.
Oh my Lord. All right. How is everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope you can hear me. Usually GarageBand is like, you plug something in. I'm hoping you can hear me. I guess maybe I will try to call in from the show and see if I'm even on air, because sometimes it happens and I'm not even here. You might be here. I'm not here. Let's look it up. TumbleweedsHealthCenter.com. So all you need to do is go there if you want to listen to the show or be on the show. Unfortunately, we have to change the whole radio ad because we don't have that phone number anymore because we're not on Blog Talk anymore. So we have to change it, and it doesn't sound like anything is happening. Let me see if you can hear a sound effect. You probably can. Nope. Can't even hear that. Well, hold everything. Let me see what's going on and why nothing is happening. Let's try this again. I don't know. Maybe you can hear me now. I don't know. Can you hear it? I don't know what's happening, but I cannot even hear it. Let's see. There's got to be something going on here, because even regularly, sorry for the person, sorry for tech props. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the show. They just can't. They're like, you can't. I don't even think this is working. Yeah. Okay, this is where now it says maybe no. Let's see. Wow, nothing's registering. Oh, there it is. Yes, it is. Okay, well. Okay, but this isn't registering. So I don't know what's going on. That's just really weird. Anything? Can you hear anything? Let's try. I think people are hanging up right now. Let's see here. How are we going to listen to this? Nope. Sorry for all the ums. Let's go to Tumbleweeds Health Center and see if we can't. Okay, search again. Check a video. Oh, there it is. Tumbleweeds Health Center. Tumbleweeds. And see, I still don't think this is even recording. Tumbleweeds allow Health Center. Tumbleweeds Health Center. Okay, well, let's find out. Let's see. Radio show. Let's go to videos because apparently I don't know. Can you hear me now? Nope. Okay. Well, let's just see if this plays. Nothing is coming through on this show.
I was totally amazed that an illegal substance that to me was garbage.
And see if we can.
I was bedbound for about 5 years. I couldn't hold a job. I had to quit school.
Okay.
I was near death. I believe that
It is working.
marijuana saved my life.
Well, here's a video.
I see it as a kind of wonder drug of our time. What this really is the marijuana legalization lobby taking advantage of sick patients. Legitimate sick patients need legitimate medication.
This is from.
Medicine.
If it is a medicine, how come it is not regulated through medical fields?
Never in my career did I find a chemical so ill-qualified to be defined as a pharmaceutical.
I think the biggest problem is you're talking about a highly impure substance. You get all this stuff that's floating around in there. 488 substances, 66 cannabinoids.
Oh, there's more than that now.
If you find a positive effect, then that justifies drilling down deeper and deeper to see where this positive effect is coming from. There's quite a bit of evidence that suggested that cannabis would be useful for a number of indications.
Okay. We were just testing. Anybody out there?
Marijuana contains
Oh, okay.
anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and probably anti-cancer.
And anti a lot of things, actually. We know that now, right? Right? Okay. We could, continue to listen to this. It's I actually really love this video, but you kind of want to watch it so that you can, I don't know.
For the most part, they're not.
All right. Well, welcome to Weedsday Wednesday, everybody. Thank you so much for being here this morning, for being patient with technology. I think that she left. I don't know if it was a dinosaur or what, but she took off. Maybe she's under the bed. I just thought, well, I'll do the show with her since it's my last show with her. And we will do that. But we will. We are going to talk about Tumbleweeds Health Center and the Good Leaf at 6224 East Speedway Boulevard. Come on down to get certified. And I'm going to give you a quick list of the things you can get certified for so we can move on and listen to some interesting news in the world and maybe get back to the video. It's a great video. It's just a little older. Things have changed a bit, but the premise is still the same. Hopefully soon, the five guys on the couch in Montana, they will just say, all right, let's do this. Okay, if you want to get certified, great state of Arizona, here are the conditions in which you can do. PTSD, you have to have records in the last 12 months. That's just a given. Cancer, glaucoma, AIDS, chronic pain, severe nausea, seizures, including epilepsy, HIV, Hep C, ALS, Crohn's disease, agitation of Alzheimer's, dementia, cachexia, wasting syndrome, severe and persistent muscle spasms. Hi, Charlie, come on up here. She's like, no, I'm going to go in my room, in my closet now. Severe and persistent muscle spasms, including multiple sclerosis, MS. So if you didn't hear your condition, don't worry. If you're going through a treatment or taking a treatment, medication or whatever, chanting in the forest, I don't care, whatever, and it's causing something on this list, because some things cause cancer, some things cause pain, some things cause nausea, seizures, all sorts of stuff, muscle spasms, wasting syndrome. There's a lot of medication that cause the inability to eat. So if you hear any of those conditions, you can qualify for your medical marijuana card.
If you suffer from one of these medical conditions and have been diagnosed by an Arizona licensed physician,
Charlie,
medical
come out.
cannabis may help relieve your symptoms. Tumbleweeds Health Center is
Come here,
Arizona's
Charlie.
premier cannabis certification, health, and education center. Our primary focus is to help the patients of Arizona obtain their medical marijuana card and educate everyone about medical cannabis. With current medical records, approval is a simple process. Contact Tumbleweeds Health Center to see if you qualify for your Arizona medical marijuana card.
Are chronic conditions holding you back from a happy, healthy life? Get on the right track with Tumbleweeds Health Center. Our CBD products are formulated to fit your health lifestyle.
I would definitely say that CBD has changed my life. I mean, I don't worry about my dog anymore, and I don't worry about sleeping anymore.
Tumbleweeds Health Center, voted #1 health center in Tucson, has created a proprietary number of CBD blends, each designed to promote health and well-being. Let Tumbleweeds Health Center show you how CBD products might help you improve your life the natural way.
That's right. Give us a call, 520-838-4430. Or just come on down, 6224 East Speedway Boulevard. We do offer telemedicine. So, and that's a great thing. So just check out the website if you want telemedicine. All you have to do is fill out the form, and then we will contact you to make an appointment and go from there. It's very simple. We send you a link. You meet with our doctor online on your computer, your phone, your tablet, your whatever. Compressed grow bags. Well, that's interesting. Why won't they let me? Oh, site will load in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is Cannabis Business Times. You have to watch the ad for like 10 seconds. And then you can get in there. That's crazy. All right, let's see what's going on in the news today. All right, let's make sure. Yep, we're still live. Okay, still can't see us. That's good. Okay, cannabis news. azmarijuana.com. Let's see if there's limited edition gummy just launched. Sonoran Roots is giving away a free pre-roll. America hits marijuana milestone as daily marijuana use surpasses daily drinking. We knew that. We knew that was coming. So many people come in to the Good Leaf and Tumbleweeds. I call it Tumbleleaf. So many people come in because they don't want to drink anymore. It's just not anything that they want to do. They don't want to get so trashed that, they can't function. And that's a lot of times what happens when you just drink too much. You black out. They don't want to do it. All right. Sorry about the wait here. Okay. Thought I had something. Okay. So America hits milestone. America. Marijuana has gone mainstream in the United States. All right. You betcha. It's pretty great. Daily or near daily cannabis use has surpassed daily alcohol use in America, reaching 21.4 million daily users compared to roughly 17 million daily frequent alcohol consumers. Well, those are the ones that report it. Well, on both sides, so it's probably higher for both, I would say. New data from the 2025 National Survey on Drug Use and Health from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, SAMHSA, reveals that daily cannabis users outnumber the 19.9 million Americans who smoke cigarettes and the 17.2 million who drink alcohol. Woohoo! Alcohol and tobacco consumption have been plummeting lately, both being down approximately 25% since 2021. Meanwhile, daily marijuana use, which includes flower and edibles, surged nearly 21% since 2021. I would agree. The study revealed that daily weed use has accelerated rapidly among Americans aged 26 and over. Many people are swapping alcohol for cannabis to avoid hangovers, and seniors are swapping pharmaceuticals for cannabis to avoid the side effects. That is absolutely amazing. That is great. That's really, 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 really great. That is a game winner. That's important because pharmaceuticals, while they do have their purpose, I'm fine with that. They can cause a lot of side effects that are malo, no good, no bueno. So yeah, be careful with those side effects. And I thought there was an article about the U.S. House lawmakers introduced bill to keep hemp beverage legal. When was that? Because I thought we read about that, but that was August 10th. Oh, okay, maybe not. A pair of bipartisan U.S. House members from Texas and Ohio are hoping to regulate hemp-derived beverage products under a system that's comparable to alcohol. This is what it's going to talk about. People come in all the time for hemp beverages. They don't want to get too trashed. Reps Beth Van Dwayne and Greg Landsman introduced the Beverage Regulatory Parity Act on August 10th. Legislation that intends to establish a federal framework they say is geared toward protecting children and states' rights, ensuring fair competition, and providing certainty for responsible hemp beverage companies to operate under clear standards. Hey, Charlie, what's going on in there? We've got a little, what are you doing in there, babe? She's playing with the cardboard. It's paper bags, babe. What the heck happened in there? Sorry about that, folks. Hey, hopefully there's no other kitties in the hallway, because we don't want them to come in when they're doing the show. There we go. Okay, so wow, that was the situation. My apologies. The legislation is geared toward protecting children's and states' rights, ensuring fair competition, and providing certainty for, quote, responsible hemp beverage companies, quote, to operate under clear standards. The 27-page bill would task the Alcohol and Tobacco Industry and Trade Bureau, TTB, with regulating hemp-derived beverages by establishing a 3-tiered distribution system for manufacturers, wholesalers, and retailers after consulting with the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the FDA. The regulations would include standards for labeling and advertising, as well as trade practices that have governed the alcohol industry since the end of Prohibition. The proposal would also impose a nationwide 21 and older standard to possess, consume, or purchase hemp-derived beverages. Those beverages would be subject to mandatory testing, TTB permits, THC limits, and risk warnings. Quote, I've heard directly from people across North Texas who consume hemp-derived beverages and businesses who sell them that they need clarity, not a ban that pushes this market underground. The Beverage Regulatory Parity Act brings long overdue certainty to the industry by regulating these beverages with the same proven structure that has successfully governed alcohol for decades. I am glad to introduce this bipartisan legislation alongside Greg Landsman because American families and responsible businesses deserve structure and sensible regulations that protect children while allowing adults to choose beverages they prefer. The legislation is the latest attempt to avert the federal government's forthcoming ban on intoxicating hemp products that's scheduled to go into effect November 12th. However, the Beverage Regulatory Parity Act is silent on products other than hemp-derived beverages. Yep, stick to one thing, folks. Under current law, hemp-derived products containing more than 0.3% total THC, more than 0.4 milligrams of total THC per container, or any amount of synthetic or unnatural cannabinoid will be prohibited November 12th. And actually that got moved, so we're gonna read on that a little bit. Under the Beverage Regulatory Parity Act, a hemp-derived beverage could contain up to 5 milligrams of total THC per serving, defined as a single-use 12-ounce container or a multi-serving container with a total volume of 750 milliliters. Quote, there are people all over Southwest Ohio who have invested significantly in these products, and they've done so safely, Landsman said. Now, the federal government is telling them they can't sell these products anymore. Oh, hi, Charlie. Our bill is bipartisan and very straightforward. It will keep people safe and let those folks stay in business. Well, and there's the money aspect, folks. Yes, I'm sure they've invested millions. Nothing in the bill prevents states from adopting their own rules with more stringent standards or from prohibiting hemp-derived beverages entirely. The legislation would define a hemp-derived beverage as a non-alcoholic liquid intended for human consumption that, okay, here we go. Ooh, it's a doozy. Contains one or more naturally occurring cannabinoids, does not contain any naturally occurring cannabinoids extracted, sourced, or processed from hemp plants cultivated outside of the United States. Okay. Does not contain any synthetically derived cannabinoids or other intoxicating molecules or compounds or any molecules or compounds that are structurally identical or intended to mimic the effects of an intoxicating molecule or compound, is a final product intended for sale to a consumer, is packaged and labeled within the United States, is not a tincture, isolate, powder, or distillate, does not contain more than 5 milligrams of total intoxicating tetrahydrocannabinol, THC, content per serving, is not intended to be consumed, labeled, or advertised as a dietary supplement. Makes sense. Does not contain more than 5 milligrams of non-THC naturally occurring cannabinoids, and does not contain a drug that is subject of an application for FDA approval. Let's see here. According to the bill sponsors, the Beverage Regulatory Parity Act would ban products from containing synthetically derived cannabinoids to ensure only natural plant-based cannabinoids end up in these beverages, eliminating any unpredictable lab-based substances. The legislation would also impose a tax rate of 8 cents per milligram on intoxicating the THC content with a hemp-derived beverage. The Beverage Regulatory Parity Act is supported by Beverage Alcohol Merchants Coalition, the BAMCO, Wine and Spirits Wholesalers of America, Texas Package Stores Association, Specs Wine, Spirits, and Fine Foods, Coalition of Adult Beverage Alternatives, Hemp Beverage Alliance, American Alternative Care Policy Network, Total Wine and More, Hemp Beverage Licenses, Beverage Wholesalers for Responsible Regulation, and Texas Food and Fuel Association. The quote, the Hemp Beverage Alliance strongly supports the Beverage Regulatory Parity Act. The alcohol regulatory system is a proven success that consumers trust. The 3-tier system will protect public health, require strong product testing and quality control, ensure products are kept away from children, and allow responsible adults to enjoy hemp beverages as they would any other adult beverage. And that's a quote from the Hemp Beverage Alliance founder and president, Christopher Lackner. And you know what else we like? Well, let's see about this. Charlie, would you like me to do this in the other room? I know it's strange hearing me in the room. What do you think? Where'd you go?
I'm gonna smoke some weed. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm a hunt, looking for a pot shop. This is fucking awesome.
Walk into my house like, what up? I got some good pop. I'm just pumped up, got some herb from the pop shop. Ice in the fridge, it used to be frosty. My friends like, damn, there's a stone ass donkey. Rolling in hella high, looking like a stupid time. Dominating all my friends as I eat some chili fries. Straight in the snuggie with my girl sitting next to me. Probably should have had a big gulp full of iced tea. But shit, it was 99 cents. I'll be blazing and smoking, about to go and get some monkeys. Passing up on those crackers, that Reese's Pieces of Werewolves. I gotta get me some soda. My cotton mouth has been creeping up. I can't remember where I put my keys. Yeah, that's what's up. I'ma take your grandpa's ride. No, for real. After grandpa, can I take a 65? The bill cruising to my local Publix. Nothing better than rolling with two super fly chicks that have frozen burritos. I bought frozen burritos. I bought some Ben and Jerry's, and then I bought some Cheetos. Hello, my main man Obama. A couple states have just reformed their laws on marijuana. What you gonna do? Send the feds there? Hell no. The DPA's a
Hey.
They got volcanoes.
I'm gonna smoke some weed. Only got $20 in my pocket.
What are you doing?
For a pot shop. This is
Come here.
I'm gonna smoke some weed.
I know it. Come here.
I'm a hunt, looking for a pot shop. This is fucking awesome.
What you know about the science of marijuana? What you know about people suffering from glaucoma? They need it. It helps them with their condition. If you don't believe me, then just ask some eye physicians. Think your granddad for voting for that guy. Richard Nixon is the president who made the plant illegal. But science is now showing that it's medicine for people, and the private sector's fighting to keep all of that illegal. Alcohol and tobacco, pharmaceutical prisons. I'll take those 4 major lobby groups and fight those motherfuckers. They're making money day and night. All those motherfuckers. And bribing Congress out of sight. All those motherfuckers. They'd be like, oh, it's immoral and unhealthy. I'm like, how many people are you making wealth? Anti-marijuana lobbies are making all kinds of profits, and they don't want you to stop because of all the special insurance. I call that getting swindled and pimped shit. I call that getting tricked by the government. That law's hella old. So it's time to update it, regulate it, and then get it under state control. Peak game, look into my political telescope. Think it's gonna stay like this forever? Not hella won't. Not hella won't. Hey, Obama, stop being a hypocrite. You used to smoke weed, fool.
I'm gonna smoke some weed. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm a hunt, looking for a pot shop. This is fucking awesome. Let's end the war on drugs. It's time to move the love. These fish and fish groups are nothing more than corporate love. Let's end the war on greed.
Over here. Come on. All right, welcome back to Weedsday Wednesday, everybody.
If you suffer from one of these medical conditions and have been diagnosed by an Arizona licensed physician, medical cannabis may help relieve your symptoms. Tumbleweeds Health Center is Arizona's premier cannabis certification, health, and education center. Our primary focus is to help the patients of Arizona obtain their medical marijuana card and educate everyone about medical cannabis. With current medical records, approval is a simple process. Contact Tumbleweeds Health Center to see if you qualify for your Arizona medical marijuana card.
Are chronic conditions holding you back from a happy, healthy life? Get on the right track with Tumbleweeds Health Center. Our CBD products are formulated to fit your health lifestyle.
I would definitely say that CBD has changed my life. I mean, I don't worry about my dog anymore, and I don't worry about sleeping anymore.
Tumbleweeds Health Center, voted #1 health center in Tucson, has created a proprietary number of CBD blends, each designed to promote health and well-being. Let Tumbleweeds Health Center show you how CBD products might help you improve your life the natural way.
Yep, just give us a call, 520-838-4430. You don't even have to come in anymore. We offer telemedicine. Go to tumbleweedshealthcenter.com and we can set you up with telemedicine. Super simple. Just, oh, there it is, normal. Just go on there, fill out the form, and it's okay. Don't fill it out more than once because it says, it's not working, something's wrong, there's an error. There's not really, we're getting it multiple times because something's different. Anyway, we got it. You can call and we'll check and make sure we did, but we did. And we will email you for your appointment time. And we are there Monday, Wednesday. Well, we're there every day, Monday through Saturday, Monday through Friday, 10 to 6 right now. Saturday is a half day, 10 to 2. And then our doctors are in-house Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So you can come in, walk in if you just happen to be cruising by, right by Bookman's, Speedway in Wilmot. And you can just come on in and you don't even need an appointment, or you can make an appointment and we will get you in that way. All right, there you have it. Okay, let's see what's going on. So I wanted to news for the week of August 6th. Let's see. How are they doing that? This is interesting. Okay. August 6th. Okay. Breaking news. Well, there's an article that said the hemp ban was going to be rescheduled to December so that the hemp industry had more time to talk to the federal government about this supposed ban on everything. So our governor has already said, nope, you can't have anything over 0.3% at all. Unless it's, for animals or a lotion or a balm or something. But we do have a lot of great products without THC. That hemp products, we're not a dispensary, so we don't have the full on. So we do have a lot of great non-THC hemp products. Wild makes some good ones. We have, Wild has just CBD flavors, different gummies. You can also get CBD with CBG, which is really great. We're all finding that CBG is just, it's a nice feeling. It just takes the edge off. We had a gal come in and say that CBC was really good for her depression. And whoa, that was quite the climbing little thing, Kitty. She just climbed up, I don't know how many steps in the closet to get to the very top. Shelving, anyway. So she said CBC was really good for her anxiety, which I thought was really interesting. So we have Wild has a CBD and CBC product. They have a CBD and CBG product. They have CBD and CBN for nighttime. That's how I remember what that's good for. And for nighttime for sure. CBN really works. In fact, we have some people that come in and they try, we have these little sample packets and they try them and there's like 5 in a pack. And I say, if you want, just try half, cut it in half, make it last a little longer. It's 20 milligrams of CBN. And I say, why not start with 10 and see if it works? So they're so skeptical. It's so funny to see the look on their face when they come back and they're like, it worked. And I'm like, wow, okay, awesome. So they come back, but they don't want to get the bigger bucket. They want to stick with the same exact packaging that worked. They're so funny. Hold on in there, which turns out actually to be the same price. This company that has the CBN product, Slumber, Doesn't give a bulk discount at all. So regardless, irregardless. All right. Well, I'm trying to find the article that talked about them postponing this hemp decision, but it's really interesting. Now I'm not seeing it anywhere. So, oh, well, no, that's August 6th. It did get delayed. So this is interesting. It says, will the hemp ban be delayed? I'm pretty sure I thought that it did. In fact, let me check this other email really quick. And let's see. Oh, yeah, big win for the industry. So let's see. There should be an article here. See if it, no, I don't want a picture. Big win for the industry. In the early hours last week, Congress passed the continuing resolution with the hemp extension intact. This means that the proposed federal hemp ban will not take effect on November 12th, and lawmakers will have until December 11th to work toward a sensible long-term regulatory framework. We have more time and more momentum. The victory happened because the hemp community came together. Thousands of advocates, farmers, and small business owners, retailers, and consumers reached out to their senators, shared their stories, and made it clear that regulation is the right path forward, not prohibition. Lawmakers heard from the people who actually live and work in this industry every day. The CR extension preserves access to lawful hemp products, protects American jobs and businesses, and gives Congress the breathing room to finish building a comprehensive federal regulatory framework. For our retail partners, this means stability on your shelves and continued confidence in the products you carry. Okay, so there you have it. It is extended until December 11th, and we especially see a lot of people come in for beverages. They really don't want to. I'm telling you, they just don't want the alcohol, and alcohol kills 500,000 people a year, probably more. That gets, there's probably so many more that don't get reported. So, people, the beverage industry is fighting for this. The hemp industry is fighting for it. The people are fighting for this because it just needs to happen. There you have it. Okay. So this was, I guess, a couple days ago. So we just read that it did happen. So let's see if we can find some more recent news. Come on. Stoners warned us about flock cameras. Turned out it wasn't paranoia. Well, yeah, cameras are everywhere. And that's, everybody really needs to be aware. Sometimes they're very, very, very helpful. Sometimes they are not. Yeah, see, here it is. Hemp just got 29 more days before the ban. Let's see what this article says. This is just from 2 days ago. Congress voted last year to strip most hemp THC products off their federal legal status starting November 12th. On Sunday morning, the Senate pushed that date to December 11th. Here's what the ban actually does, what the vote changed, and why the extension is probably the last one. Uh-oh. Come on, kids. At 3:35 on Saturday morning, after a week of political fights and a threatened holdup of the entire government funding bill, the U.S. Senate voted to give hemp 29 more days. 3 days earlier, a White House official had already told Senate Republicans that there would not be another 29. If you have been following this fight closely, here is the short version of what is at stake and then what actually happened. First, what is the hemp ban bill? In 2028, the Farm Bill legalized hemp, defined as cannabis containing no more than 0.3% Delta-9 THC by dry weight. Nobody in Congress seemed to anticipate what would happen next. Chemists worked out how to convert legal hemp-derived CBD into intoxicating cannabinoids. The statute had not mentioned Delta-8, Delta-10, HHC, THCO. Growers realized THCA flower is not intoxicating until you heat it, which meant technically fell inside the definition. Beverage makers built a THC seltzer category from scratch. Within a few years, that gap became a multi-billion-dollar industry selling weed-adjacent products in gas stations, smoke shops, liquor stores, and grocery aisles, including in states where marijuana itself is still illegal. Last year, Congress moved to close it, tucked into the spending bill that ended the record-long government shutdown with Section 781 of P.L. 119 through 37, a rewrite of the federal definition of hemp. Trump signed it into law, though his administration would later push Congress to postpone the very restrictions he had approved. The provision was championed by Senator Mitch McConnell, the same senator who wrote hemp into the 2018 Farm Bill in the first place. The new rule does two things. It measures total THC, which counts THCA rather than ignoring it, and it caps finished consumable products at 0.4 milligrams per container of total THC plus other cannabinoids with similar effects. Quote, the 0.4 milligram cap, not the word ban, is the mechanism. A typical hemp gummy carries 10 milligrams. A THC seltzer carries between 2 and 10. Almost nothing on the market clears 0.4. The U.S. Hemp Roundtable has estimated roughly 95% of existing hemp cannabinoid products fall outside the new definition. The effective date was November 12th, 1 year after enactment. We broke down the fine print here. The hemp industry spent about 9 months lobbying to get the law changed before it landed. It did not get a rewrite. What it got instead was an attempt at more time. Senate leaders released a stopgap funding bill August 2nd to keep the federal government open through December 11th. Incited at the White House request was a provision pushing most of the hemp restrictions to that same date. Cannabinoids that the plant cannot naturally produce would still lose federal hemp status on November 12th. Everything else would get 29 more days. Senator Ted Budd, a North Carolina Republican, filed an amendment to strip it out and hold the original date. He called intoxicating hemp a public health crisis and held up posters on the Senate floor showing THC packaging that resembled Oreos and Skittles as evidence that the hemp industry's goal is to make children addicted to these disguised substances. His amendment collected 13 co-sponsors and threatened to derail the entire funding bill and the Senate's August recess. We covered that standoff here. Budd's amendment died at 3:35 a.m. The Senate vote 61 to 32 tabled it. The motion came from Senator Amy Klobuchar, the Minnesota Democrat, who wrote the delay provision in the first place. 24 minutes later, the chamber passed the underlying continuing resolution 90 to 6, according to the Senate's official record. That means the Senate bill would push most of the November 12th restrictions to December 11th, if the House agrees and Trump signs it. Neither has happened. Until both do, November 12th remains the operative federal date. Read past the vote count, though, and the week produced 4 things that matter more than the calendar. 1, nobody voted the way you guessed. Start with the roll call because it scrambles every assumption about who sits where on cannabis policy. 11 Democrats voted with Budd to keep his amendment alive. Quote, Merkley and Padilla lined up with Ted Budd. Rand Paul lined up with Amy. Hemp has managed to scramble both parties at once. Paul, the delay's loudest Republican defender, accused his colleagues of wildly exaggerating the risk. He told reporters for the Associated Press and PBS NewsHour after the lunch that the senators pushing to keep the ban on schedule were behaving like they watched Reefer Madness in 1937. And if you haven't watched that, folks, just for fun, do so. It's pretty entertaining. On the other side, Senator Tom Cotton called the products gas station marijuana candy during a closed-door Republican lunch that Senator Josh Hawley later described to MS Now as a big blow-up. The most important thing, number two, the most important thing of the week happened 3 days before the vote in a room the industry was not in. James Braid, the White House Director of Legislative Affairs, attended the Republican lunch. Cotton, Senator Pete Ricketts, and Bud pressed him on why the administration had reversed course on a law the president himself signed. According to Axios, NBC News, and Punchbowl News, all citing people present, Braid committed that there would be no further delays beyond the one in the funding bill. The pressure went beyond the lunch. Trump personally called Bud on Tuesday night after the senator filed his amendment. According to a Senate aide cited in reports of the call, the president discussed setting up federal regulations for hemp, but did not directly ask Bud to withdraw it. December 11th is not a waypoint on the current signals. It is the cliff. That matters because the delay exists almost entirely because the administration wanted it. The Hill reported the provision went in at the White House request, and Trump has publicly pushed Congress to fix hemp rather than kill it, writing on Truth Social that lawmakers must, quote, get this done right and fast, especially for those who saw that CBD helps them. They have a creaky Halloween door, sorry. Take that support away in December, and the coalition for another temporary extension gets substantially weaker. Congress has had 9 months to write a permanent fix. It has produced the Barr-Craig Lawful Hemp Protection Act, which would replace the ban with federal potency limits, age restrictions, and labeling rules. A competing draft circulating from James Comer and a stack of delay proposals. None has advanced far enough to replace the November law. There is another reason the White House's sudden investment in the issue has drawn scrutiny. In June, White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles' younger daughter, Carolyn, married Brett Worley, the chief executive of MC Nutraceuticals, a hemp company that described itself as the largest global supplier of cannabinoids. MS Now reported that Worley's company urged industry allies to press lawmakers for the delay. The New York Times reported that once the provision was added to the funding bill, MC Nutraceuticals told customers the industry now had a seat at the table. The White House denies that the family connection influenced its position. Spokesman Kush Desai said Wiles has never lobbied in favor of this or any other position on hemp with Capitol Hill, and that the administration is guided by interests of veterans and patients. Neither Wiles nor Worley responded to requests for comments from MS Now, and MS Nutraceuticals did not respond to the Times. None of the establishes that the delay was written to benefit anyone's business. It does explain why senators in both parties spent the week asking harder questions about an abrupt reversal. Hemp and 3 hemp groups treated Saturday's vote as permission to keep building. Quote, this morning's vote was a huge turning point in the pursuit of safe, responsible federal regulation, said Christopher Lackner, founder and president of the Hemp Beverage Alliance, which represents 375 members across the U.S. and Canada. The next chapter begins today. Thomas Whitstanley, president of edibles.com, part of the Edibles brand, the parent company of Edible Arrangement, was more reassured. Quote, Congress did not solve the hemp issue today. It preserved the opportunity to solve it correctly. A delay is not a destination. Whitstanley said in a statement that he would that the ban would have, quote, increased consumer risk by driving demand toward the illicit market, quote. while undermining farmers, manufacturers, and retailers. This is a central argument from the hemp industry, and the Senate just gave it 4 extra weeks to land. But parts of the state licensed cannabis sector treated the same vote as another month of unequal rules. So did a bipartisan coalition of 35 state and territory attorneys general, I love that, who sent Congress a letter on August 4th arguing the ban had, quote, protected consumers, provided much needed regulatory clarity, and preserved legitimate industrial, agricultural, and non-intoxicating hemp markets. The logic is not complicated. A licensed operator pays for a state license. Mandatory batch testing, compliance, staff, seed to sale trafficking, and state cannabis taxes. Then watches a hemp company sell a comparable high through ordinary retail with none of that overhead. From inside a dispensary, November 12th does not look like prohibition. It looks like the end of an arbitrage. Well, okay, so there's, anyway, from inside a hemp beverage company, keep reading. The same date looks like the government erasing a legal business built on a law Congress itself wrote in 2018. Both pressures are real, and the split helps explain why a clean fix has been so hard. Hemp operators are lobbying to preserve a national market. Prohibition groups and parts of the licensed cannabis world are lobbying for the opposite outcome. That makes for an unusual coalition, even if its members arrive there for entirely different reasons. For the Medicare guy showed up, the strangest detail of the week, got almost no coverage. On Friday, Mehmet Oz, who runs the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, urged senators to reject Budd's amendment. His concern was a program his own agency launched in April. The Substance Access Beneficiary Engagement Incentive lets providers in certain CMS Innovation Center models consult with Medicare beneficiaries about eligible hemp products for symptom control and furnish those products at the provider's own expense up to $500 per beneficiary per year. Medicare does not pay for them. 5 accountable care organizations submitted implementation plans for the first performance period. So Medicare's own agency is already in the hemp business, and its administrators spent political capital on a Senate floor fight to keep the new hemp law from gutting it. Here is the part that makes it coherent rather than merely odd. The CMS program already imposes limits of its own. Eligible products must contain no more than 0.3% Delta-9 THC. Oral products cannot exceed 3 milligrams per serving of THC, including Delta-8, Delta-10, and THCA. Cannabinoids the plant cannot naturally produce are excluded outright, but the incoming federal cap would finish hemp products at 0.4 milligrams per container of total THC, including THCA plus other cannabinoids with similar effects. That is far below the ceiling CMS currently allows, and it would sharply narrow the universe of products the agency can use in its own demonstration. CMS says it will adjust its eligibility definition if federal hemp changes. Bud's response was the sharpest line anyone landed all week. Quote, why do unregulated intoxicating edibles need to be available at gas stations for CMS to continue studying hemp-derived pain relief? It's a fair question, and it points at what the whole fight keeps failing to separate. The full spectrum tincture a Medicare patient might get through a CMS demonstration and the 100 milligram gummy sold beside the register at a gas station are governed by the same paragraph of federal law. Most of the proposals on the table are attempts to draw a line. The current statute does not draw clearly and cleanly. None has gotten a vote. What still has to happen? The delay is not law. It is one chamber's position, and the House passed its own funding bill with no hemp language in it at all. When the House returns, it has to decide whether to accept the Senate bill, amend it, or negotiate something else. September 30th, current funding expires. By then, both chambers need to enact identical legislation or the government shuts down. November 12th, cannabinoids the plant cannot naturally produce lose federal hemp and statutes regardless. That carve-out survived the Senate untouched. December 11th, the 0.4 milligram cap and the rest of the new definition arrive. On the same day, the Senate's own funding bill expires. The states are on their own clocks either way. Illinois' restrictions take effect November 12th under the state statute, which no federal stopgap touches. North Carolina is weighing legislation that would write the federal standard into state law. For a company whose immediate problem is Illinois, the federal extension does not move the November 12th state deadline. Bud has already said he will be back. Quote, "We agreed to ban these drugs nearly 9 months ago, but clearly our fight to stop this scourge is just beginning," Senator Ted Budd. 9 months produced no framework. The Senate has now offered the industry 4 weeks, more than it had on Friday, but the House bill still has to agree. The administration has reportedly told senators it is done spending capital on extensions, and the opposition runs from opposition runs from Tom Cotton to Jeff Merkley. With Stanley had it right. A delay is not a destination. It also, on the current signals, the last one anybody is handing out. What do we say to that? Here's the deal. Here's what I say. If you want to get high, quote unquote, whatever that is to you, as long as you're old enough, mature enough, basically is what it is, mature enough, safe enough, you don't harm other people, I don't have a problem with it. I myself like the intoxication. I know my friends like being intoxicated. I know some people that don't like being intoxicated. I don't care. You do you, boo. That's basically the whole thing I have to say. You do you, boo. But this does affect people and businesses and people's health and well-being. And that aspect needs to be accepted by the general public, because whatever it takes to heal one person is not necessarily what it takes to heal another. And that is something that everybody needs to recognize. And if you don't, you're just selfish. That's what I say. And, oh, what's going on? Did that not work? It's been a technologically cuckoo day. Thanks, as always, for tuning in to Weedsday Wednesday, everybody. We appreciate you being here. We love being here mostly each and every week now. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, Silver Sister, and for the bestie, let's do it. How many days until Christmas? 135 days until Christmas and 136 until it's over. Happy Weedsday Wednesday. Be smart, be safe, and educate. The creaky door represents our Halloween season coming. Yeah, it's early. Who cares? It's fun. Happy Weedsday Wednesday, folks. See you next week, or listen to you next week, rather. Check out tumbleweedshealthcenter.com. Smoke some weed. Eat some weed.